Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the AVGL Collegiate Dota 2 League spring season, and we just finished up game one between Columbia and UNR, and I gotta say, we're both feeling good about Columbia. You still feeling that way?
Oh yeah, I think UNR need to ban Invoker first,
Yes.
remove Invoker, and then phase two take out Sven. Um, don't phase one ban the Sven, but definitely phase two ban it. But Columbia just those are definitely heroes that they're really good at, and just Jesse on the Invoker outplayed Chosen in mid really hard. Columbia just felt like they outplayed everyone in that game. Five Dozen Eggs did great in his lane, but the strength of the Invoker and Sven were too much for him to bear.
Yeah, I gotta say we saw a bit of an unconventional drafting from the two teams, but I think Columbia definitely made it work for them a little bit more than UNR. And like I said, I definitely expect, or like you said, definitely ban out that freaking Invoker. That was just disgusting.
That was wrong.
And of course, we expect to see a lot more Invoker as the tournament goes on. Um, that being said, I mean Sven now banworthy. What do you let through? Do you let through the OD? Do you let them have a chance at the Death Prophet? What would you
I
fear the
think
least?
Death Prophet, because there's a lot of answers for her. You could like a great answer to Death Prophet, and I believe it was Columbia who played Oracle as well, or did they
Yeah,
not?
Columbia
Yeah.
did have that was
You could
Wumpkins.
let them have the Oracle and the Death Prophet, and then just instantly pick Ancient Apparition, and
Oh,
it does so much damage to those heroes.
that's good. I like that. And it's been a while since I've seen a good AA
I
game.
think I think AA would be good in that situation, but we'll see. It comes down to what they want. I think maybe avoid Columbia in team fights because they're very well coordinated, and just go like a split pushy thing. Get like an Ember Spirit or something,
Get a
or
like in
Morphling.
them. Yeah. Oh, Morphling's been actually a lot of fun to watch.
Hmm.
So with that, let's dive into game two of University of Nevada, Reno against Columbia. All right. First ban is going to be up to Columbia. For them, did you see anything coming out from UNR that you particularly fear besides the
Radiant
Broodmother,
team ban.
apparently?
Um, I guess UNR just have a really good Brood player, but maybe let's see what the Gyro did
Radiant
pretty well,
team
so
ban.
I think they could ban the Gyro. But yeah, the immediate Invoker ban, no
Holy
surprise.
hell! Like that was. I don't even think there was a second tick on the ban
No,
counter. It was just like, no,
they
you're
just like
done.
had him clicked. They were ready.
10 seconds
And now they're
remaining.
trying to decide whether they should kill the Sved or the Lone Druid or the Death Prophet or
Five
the
seconds
Faceless Void.
remaining.
Oh, Faceless Void with that
The
team.
Void
Dire
be good to
team
ban
pick.
out,
Could see a Void Lich or a Void Witch Doctor. Oof.
but they respect the Oracle,
Yep. Oh God, you
which
have to.
also did really well. I mean, he played so well against that guy.
Now maybe we'll see an Earth Spirit though. Like these first top priority bans with the current meta. There's so many things that you have to work around picking and
Right,
banning. It makes for a lot more interesting games because
10 seconds
it's
remaining.
right.
like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and I
Five
think Lone
seconds
Druid would be a
remaining.
great first pick for Columbia, but it's possible these teams just don't like the hero because we saw it get to
Reserve
phase two
time.
last time, and that is basically unheard of at like the premium level.
I could see that.
So maybe they grab like an Earth Spirit or Bat Rider was banned last game, is not banned this game.
Huh.
Oh, but if they pick Bat, UNR can just immediately lock in a Vengeful Spirit, and then Bat Rider is sad.
That's all. And you don't like to see a sad Bat Rider. That
Well, like it
suits.
takes away all of his strength. So it'd be ballsy to pick a Bat with Venge still there.
Going with an
In my
offlane
Radiant
Clockwork.
team pick.
One of my favorite heroes. Not really popular in the current meta, but they feel they can turn it into something.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe I guess you could get something like a Skywrath Mage with it and do like a cheesy combo. Okay, they need to. If
Radiant
Skywrath
team
Mage is
pick.
not picked by UNR, then Columbia should pick it.
Oh yeah, just make that Clockwork be sad that every time he's inside of his own cogs, they pick up
Yeah.
the Faceless Void for themselves.
Um, yeah, especially now, I think they need to pick the Skywrath Mage.
Oh yeah.
Either team should take Skywrath Mage.
Clinks.
UNR.
A bit early for a Clinks, don't you think? Or
Very interesting. Yes, very.
Bane. Ooh, that's gonna spell bad times for that Clinks, because if you try to roam on the Bane, you have to try to right-click him down before he gets any of his controls off on you, or even himself.
Yeah, and Bane is, if he gets Aether Lens, great against Void. Amazing against Void.
Oh, yeah, you just hit it Nightmare him once he's inside of his Chrono, and he just wasted his whole team fight potential.
Columbia should ban Skywrath Mage, because there's the obvious Faceless Void synergy with it, but it also would be good. I mean, if they want it, they don't have first pick for this phase, so that's why I think they should ban it. But if they want it, they can take it. Witch Doctor also a good ban. So I expect to see one of those two heroes with the Void.
Let's see. Wow. Columbia not really giving up much of what they're planning with only the Clockwork and the Bane. While UNR, the opposite. They're like, hey, this is what we're doing. You can try, try to counter it, see what you got. Ban out on the bench.
Not surprising. Maybe they get Batrider. But it's, again, Venge is just such a good hero. It's not like, oh, they banned Venge, they're going for Bat. Like,
yeah.
It's not, she's just so popular right now that it's not surprising.
You don't want to swap the core. You've finally gotten your Chrono out, and then you're left with just a...
That's a big part of it, this game.
All right, so we don't see any mids yet, which, I mean, I guess you could play any of these mid if you're really bold. Ban out on the LD and a ban out on the Shadow Fiend. Witch Doctor immediately picked up by UNR.
Columbia should take Skywrath Mage.
Oh, God, yeah.
Unless it gets ignored. I don't know if UNR will actually take it. Okay, Rubik I like a lot too, because he's going to steal Death Ward. He will steal the Death Ward.
Yes, and he has a good chance at stealing Chrono too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he happens to use his... I mean,
don't steal Chrono. Don't steal Chrono, because
I forgot, yeah. Oh, man, that's... You know what, to balance that out, they should make Rubik, when he has Chrono stolen, able to walk in Void's Chrono.
I think he can walk in his own, at least. But...
He can walk in his own. That's at least not horrible.
10 seconds
let's see. So next...
UNR could grab Skywrath.
Yeah,
I mean, it wouldn't be awful, because then they just play this ridiculously aggressive style, create mountains of space for Clinks to just free farm, and then go one-shot your sad Rubik.
Yeah, well, yeah. The Rubik, a lot of good spells to steal. Maybe look for something less spell-dependent, because with his spell shield later on, he's going to...
Right.
I guess there's nothing to mitigate. It's a lot of physical damage, so... Maybe.
Plus, Clock is going to get a Blade Mail.
Oh, God, yeah, that's going to...
So another good support for UNR, if they're looking for their support now, they could get, like, Death Prophet, or OG, who is still there. And Death Prophet would be great with the Void.
Oh, God, yeah. I love it. With her, you can have your ult on and be stuck in the Chrono and still do work.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Especially if you hit them with Spirit Siphon before.
Oh, it's disgusting.
The Death Prophet would be good, but there's other combo pieces for the Chrono.
Oh, they pick up the Lich, so they want to just... Okay, they're all in on these Chronos have to be on freaking point.
It's dangerous to do this, though.
It's an all-in. It's an all-in strat. Not only that, you have to do that without the Rubik stealing all of your major ults that can just pop you right back out of your own Chrono. Like, that's high risk coming out from UNR.
I think it's UNR kind of going a too all-in. I think the reason a Skywrath would have been good was because it contributes a lot outside of just like the Void combo. You've got the Silence for the Bane, Silence for pretty much any enemy hero, and it just happens to synergize, and you can apply tons of pressure early game.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit crazy of a game looking out here, because they do have a lot of decent early game harass on both sides, so we're going to see probably aggression from minute 1.
Columbia could go for a Wraith King.
Woohoo! Go for a Slark.
Which,
oh man, with those squishy back heroes, if you get, because Faceless Void, once he goes inside of his Chrono, you can go just freely catch yourself a Witch or a Lich. Oh, ban out on OD and Zeus.
My issue with the Slark is he'll do fine in the lane, but team fights might be kind of a problem, a tiny problem. And if Clinks gets an Orchid, he's gonna die.
Ooh,
but if Slark snowballs, it's going to be really easy. However, they do have a really good lane. Rubik and Slark plus Bane, too, would be really scary.
Oh, that's then that's would be enough. Because if you're gonna plan on putting this Faceless Void in the off lane, a Wind Ranger mid coming out from UNR, you put Faceless in this off lane, you put the Slark Rubik Bane against him, he's just gonna get shut down in that off lane. So maybe they're forcing Faceless into the safe lane, and then you have Clinks in the off lane, who's also very likely to die.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Slark. Once it's level 3, is pretty bursty, so they could feasibly kill the Void, but it's still going to be really hard. It's going to require, like, they have to kill him inside of Lift, which is very, very hard to do. And I like the Wind Ranger a lot because it's great against Slark, and more importantly, it's not another combo to the Chronosphere. And I'm glad that they moved away from just all-inning on these Chronos.
And this also gives them an insane amount of tower push with Clinks and Wind Ranger, so they don't have to completely rely on that Chrono.
Let's see. So I'm looking for a mid hero. Death Prophet would be okay, but I don't think it's that good. Oh, okay. I mean, but honestly, what else is there? I think the Death Prophet's a good pick. It will be fine against Wind Ranger. She doesn't. It's not that bad if she gets chronoed, especially when she gets a couple items.
Oh, seriously.
As long as her ult already goes off. If it's not off, then she's just dead. I think Razor would have been really good, though. I think Razor would have been awesome for Columbia.
Oh,
Just because it's great against Clinks, great against Wind Ranger, great against Faceless Void. And it's a tanky frontliner that they are seriously lacking, because Clockwork will be on the front line, but I don't know if I would call him terribly tanky.
No, I completely agree. Okay, so with the drafts completed, who do you favor?
Columbia. I mean, I think UNR actually have the better picks, but Columbia I just feel like are better players.
You know what?
Just based on last game.
I completely agree. Yeah. The thing is with them is they seem to really comfortable hitting skill shots and everything, so that then they've chosen some decent skill shot heroes, the Rubik and the Clockwork and everything. They seem like they have everything they need to make it happen.
Yeah, and this Jesse dominated mid lane last game, and it's another good matchup for him. It's Death Prophet versus it's Death Prophet versus Wind Ranger, and oh boy,
Nightmare misses the pounce though. So but they got the pinks coming out from the.
He still might get
Clockwork.
Away.
All the right clicks. He's under his tier 2. They want it so bad, and they get it.
Huckleby.
Cosmos. Oh, he gets out.
Nice.
And the teens. Oh, but they cancel salve and almost get the kill.
Oh man, if it weren't for that salve, you'd have been dead.
Oh,
so that's good for them. Unfortunate, a little bit of miscommunication with the Nightmare Pounce, but it worked out in the end. So.
Whew. All right, so one Bannerina apiece, one going to Clinks actually instead of the mid, and one going to Death Prophet.
Yeah, this is going to be a really awful lane for Wind Ranger now that she didn't get the Banny Rune. Once Death Prophet hits 2, I imagine this is what's going to happen. She's going to get Soul Siphoned and then right-clicked, and it's going to be awful for her.
Not only that, it looks like Bane might be sitting here with the Death Prophet, and that's never a good thing.
Quite a while ago, we would see these Banes start with Enfeeble, and just go and like enfeeble the enemy mid. So for the first like 30 seconds, they couldn't see us.
Damn, that's brutal.
And you don't see it anymore, but I think it's a pretty cheeky play. But Void will be fine up here, especially with Lich. Slark will also be fine though.
All right, bottom lane you got Cosmos. Wow, it's an aggressive tri-bot from Dire.
I like that because Clinks is gonna struggle against it, and they have decent heroes for it. And there's no fear of Slark not getting farm against those two heroes.
Seriously.
Or very little fear. He's not gonna get solo killed by the Lich. Will it be annoying? Yes. Will it be game ruining? No, because Slark farms the jungle really well.
Meanwhile, Clinks will get shut the hell down if he's not careful.
Yeah. And Clinks can't farm the jungle very well either.
Yeah, his recovery methods are few and between. He needs to get going early so he can start farming heroes. That's what he do.
Yep. If he does do poorly, yeah, it's unrelenting.
He's in the trees. He doesn't care. He's just like, hey, you can even kill me. I don't care. Oh, they got the shadow, the skeleton walk. Mumpkin's looking up, but getting a little juked out by 5 dozen eggs. It's just a great name.
Just an annoying little cask there. Nothing should come of that.
Oh,
actually,
I don't know.
No, Nightmare.
Oh, gets taken off by the Witch Doctor. Yeah. but it might cost
But
him
is
his
he
life.
like a sacrificial lamb? Oh, very possibly.
Oh, misses the cogs.
Missed the
Push him up,
cogs.
but
So
they
he
might
might
have
get
enough
away. Yeah, it looks like Vayne and Rubik should have enough to click.
And so that brings it 2-0, going the way of Columbia. And this poor Clinks, man.
3 CS, but Slark's not faring much better. But again, Slark will come back better, I think.
Yeah, he can. Well, he can just move in. Oh, the Chosen One gets his bounty roll, taken by the Bane.
Bad. She did get the haste top, but that's still pretty annoying. She doesn't have bottles, so I guess it's not like the end of the world.
Yeah. Okay, now she picks up the bottle just now, and
I think Death Prophet's bottle's on the way too.
Yeah, Death Prophet having a hell of a time. Oh, rotation from Wumpkins and Hanging Sky to try to. Oh no! If they kill the bottle, they see him in time and get him out. Hanging Sky just gets a little too fancy.
If the creep wave, if they push in the creep wave, they might be able to try to get a kill. Uh-oh. This shouldn't be a kill.
Just being annoying. Actually, if he's not careful, he could get shackled.
Man, Columbia loves those aggressive wards.
Seriously.
They want to dive her. They want to dive her really bad.
Well, I think they're seeing it as like if they can force the team into focusing on those big chrono and team fight ultimates, they can control what UNR is able to do. So I think that's why they're putting a lot of emphasis on shutting down the two big pushers.
So this is okay. So obviously kills favoring Columbia, and CS wise also favoring them. And Slark is higher level than Clinks, definitely, because he's in a solo lane. So right now, things looking really good for Columbia. This Wind Ranger is not having a terrible time though, but almost Death Prophet is almost double her CS.
And the thing is, she's low enough that one good Soul Siphon and Crypt Swarm, and she's done.
Yep.
Oh, and Rumpkins gets the Arcane Rune on his Rubik, and Death Prophet takes the Bounty Rune. It's all coming up aces for Columbia.
The rune control is definitely going to hurt the Wind Ranger, who's already pretty low. Like, without the bottle charges, she's probably got a bottle core right now. Yeah.
Oof. And all she has is a null tally on top of that.
So she's having an extremely rough time. Uh-oh.
Oh, here's the rotation. Zenny, he gets flinked up by the clockwork, doesn't get the cogs, and they're just going to throw some annoying cast bounces. And so nothing coming of their rotation. But up top, Mark and Ryan, there's the zip in from Mark, but no lucky bash, so no kill on Calypso. Oof, took a lot of damage though. Wow, Rumpkin's coming in with an Fade Bolt just in time to make them back off, because they could have felt pretty comfortable diving on Calypso if Wumpkins hadn't shown up there.
With Pounce, he should be okay. Oh, the Death Prophet ult is out. And is she going just for the dive?
Ooh, damn. Yeah. Oh man, Chosen One getting really low to creeps. Has to pop a bottle charge just not to die.
He just doesn't want to leave lane. He knows he's behind, and he knows that if he leaves, then the tower could even die.
Nope, they're going on to Wumpkins, but immediately lift up Mark and throw him back down, and gets the stun onto the Lich, and it looks like they're sending Slark back home because he's just had too much to deal with. 5 dozen eggs, he's invised up, got the skeleton walk. Doesn't look like he's really going to do anything but try to get some more last hits. Hanging Sky moves in, gets the Nightmare. Cosmos walks up, here come the cogs, but they're going to be a second too late. Just push him back. You are right. They had a ward there for a second, and now it's gone. Oh, turn around on a Cosmos if he's not careful. No mana for burning arrows, though, so this is not going to turn into a kill.
Tower is hitting pretty hard, but yeah, it wasn't a super high-risk play from Clock to do that. It's bad. I don't know if he has much regen, but so this could be really annoying for him.
Every coin helps.
Yeah, it looks like he's headed back to base, too. So, UNR actually doing pretty well, forcing their Columbia to back to their base, and oh, they get the pounce onto Ryan. This might be a dead Lich if he's not okay. They get the he turns around in the last second.
He didn't.
But trade really good for UNR.
Maybe Dark Pact was on cooldown. I didn't see, but I'm very surprised he didn't use it as soon as he pounced.
It was on cooldown, and Void used his time.
Time dilation. Okay, I figured something like that must have caused it.
So, with that, it's 1-3. Oh man, doesn't eggs. He's nightmared up. Here come the cogs. He has them inside of it this time. They don't have. They do. And it's right on top. They dropped it literally on top of him. That was enough to get the Clinks kill. UNR needs to get this Clinks online. Without that, they're gonna really struggle and have a real. Oh, they're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, Eggs definitely.
Oh my God! Same
as good a
setup.
game as he
Nightmare into freaking Cogs into everything. Oh, but the Nightmare actually taken off by Cosmos.
Unfortunately, Cosmos popped it out himself.
Yeah, just a little bit too early because that was a secured kill if he'd played it perfectly.
Yeah, if he hadn't auto attacked the Witch Doctor, it would have been a kill.
Whew.
But Jesse CSing very well, 36. Right, but the Void is right behind him, and this leads me with getting a minus on that Void. I wonder if he is going to go a damage oriented role. We'll have to see. He could, but I'm not sure if that's what's actually going to happen.
I'm just afraid with snowbally heroes like the Slark and the Death Prophet and everything, it might delay his effectiveness a little too much. Calypso taking a lot of harassment this top lane. Like you said, it's inconvenient, but nothing that's going to be two-game ending for him.
Right.
Columbia,
it's just a little bit of a nuisance.
Do you see Columbia pulled the lane for UNR so that way they could, like just straight up
They
pulled
could
it
try
for
to
them?
dive.
Exactly. I was actually pretty cheeky going on there.
Yeah, has that rune going for her Yules. Nothing really surprising coming out from her. And at bot lane, Clinks dies once again.
Same exact setup. Nightmare, Cogs.
He did have to use hookshot this time, though.
Yeah. That's... Oof.
I
mean, they're paying, 100 gold to kill off a Clinks. I mean, you do that. That's pretty fair freaking trade. There's the Nightmare. It's not going to be long enough for Cosmos to be quite in position, but I guess
maybe it is. Trap.
They even dropped the ward out of instinct. And here comes 5 dozen eggs. He's under all these wards, but he's going to have enough to kill Cosmos, and Cosmos can't.
No.
One more arrow. He's still in vision.
Out of range, but now Hanging Sky might be.
Yep, they help with the Lich, and they have just enough to kill him. That's some good recovery for Clinks, and Death Prophet takes the mid tower.
It's alright. It's unfortunate that neither of them got the kill. The creeps got it, so the gold wasn't. It was still a good gold boost, but it wasn't like insane. And Clinks is still very, very far behind. But Slark is not a star player either. Only one CS ahead of this Clinks.
You're right. Oh, here we go. So we see he's only about 300 ahead of him as far as net worth goes. So really, the main concern for UNR should be this Death Prophet.
For sure. Jesse has been playing really well, and last game he was also had an amazing impact. But UNR do have that potential this game that they didn't have last, with an incredible team fight combo just centered around the Chronosphere.
Oof. Now, with the Chronosphere, there's so many things to counteract it. He's gonna have to hit it on the Death Prophet without her ult on, and the Bane and the Rubik. I mean, it's hell. Even if you get the clock while he has his what the heck's it called? The little plinks, the stun plinks.
Battery assault.
Battery assault. Yeah, he has his battery assault going. You're completely screwed.
Yeah, it's gonna be a less than easy game.
Okay, he's got the Chrono. He sees 2. He decides not to go for it. Oh, but they can still rotate into him in the back.
They have an advantage for the time being, but I wonder...
Oh, Grip immediately canceled by the Witch Doctor. That was a for sure kill, completely canceled. Mark might even be able to... Okay, they get the silence.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, they missed the pounce. Oh.
Just a bit of issues for Columbia just right-clicking when the Nightmare is on. And it's cost them at least 2 kills right now, I believe. At least 1. The for sure kill on the Witch Doctor was lost. That kill, maybe it would have been fine. He did have backup there, so who knows, but...
Oof. That was... Oh. You feel bad because, you blow the ultimate. Oh, here comes the Chrono onto Hanging Sky. And they're right-clicking. They got... Yep. This is going to be pretty easy. No, he gets the Nightmare in time.
Just buying some time.
Oh, half a dozen eggs get dived down deep, but they have the Lich Ult bouncing back between Cosmos and some creeps.
Oh,
and Cosmos. Oh. His Mega Shield streak going down as well.
So,
all right.
The major players in this game are Clock, Faceless, and Death Prophet, for sure. It feels like Clinks and Slark are kind of taking a backseat role, but I can easily see them in the near future starting to be like the really strong heroes in this game.
Definitely, and the more powerful your big ults get, the more powerful Rubik's gonna get. So this is something to think of there. He's got a spell still now, so can't wait to see them sick plays.
It's all in the kind of play. It depends on Wumpkins getting a good spell steal, though.
Oh, he got...
Time Walk is a good steal.
Yeah.
Just more positioning for Rubik is always so nice.
Well, and it's at lower levels, it's like, you know, you already have your free little blink, you know, you zoom in, get the lift, and then you have your initiation.
Right. Smoke purchased up on Witch Doctor, so maybe they want to try to make a use of that. Maybe try to shut down this Death Prophet, who has had a very nice game.
Extremely nice. Still, only a 1k net worth difference between the two, so nothing too horrible.
Definitely not insurmountable. But Death Prophet is already level 10, so Jesse having a great game.
Let's see. Looks like UNR's feeling a bit anxious. They're clumping together a little bit more than I think they absolutely need to. So that's going to cost them, and as far as experience and wealth sharing is going to go. So they're looking to feel good about pushing this top tower. And my kitten is now clawing at my feet, so I'm going to pick her up real quick so I can focus.
And Yule's Scepter finished at a very good timing for Jesse. So after this, there's a few ways that the Death Prophet itemization could go. Some Death Prophets like to go straight into an Octarine Core. Like, they just go right for Octarine Core.
Gives you
Others, just the higher uptime on the ult.
Yeah.
Sometimes Rod of Atos is favored for beef, and if they have a hero that could be kited with it, which the Void, the Clinks, there's a couple people it's good against. And it's actually, with the accuracy it gives, the 40% chance to not miss a missed attack. Not awful against the Wind Ranger, but I would prefer just like a straight Octarine. Bloodstone is completely falling out of favorability.
Yeah, it's one of those, she doesn't have any mana problems at all anymore, and I completely agree with you. The Octarine I favor so much more because you can just stand in team fights and keep going for so much longer than you could if you didn't.
And she can team fight a lot more.
Dire's career hanging around at the jump.
It's like it was a 1-for-1 tower trade. Both teams lose a tier 1.
Let's see. The Death Prophet ult is down, so no real danger on this tier 2. Lumpkins just clean it out.
Just came up.
Oh, did it really? Man, it's such a low cooldown now. Oh, the aggressive ward from Hanging Sky gets the Nightmare onto Ryan, who's going to take just a little bit. Wumpkins steals. Sacrifice. Oh, but there's the Bane ult, and that's going to be an easy kill onto the Lich. He throws his ult, though. It's going to bounce. Just annihilates Creep Wave. Doesn't do anything else. Oh, no, but it bounces back. It gets the Death Prophet. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. Oh, that was such unlucky / lucky bounces, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Holy
it's all
hell.
matter of perspective, but the Lich, I think, more than happy with that. I think he's plenty content with dying for the Death Prophet.
Oh, seriously! Not only that, they saved the tier with the tier 2 tower from the ult from the Death Prophet. Like, that's just such. Oh man, those bounces!
And we see that UNR are managing to make some good stuff happen outside of their chronospheres, and it's important that they do. Because they need to not be... It's one thing about their draft that I'm still a little anxious about, is they still feel pretty all in on the chrono.
Go, Nightmare on the Chosen One. But it's taken off by the Witch Doctor. Shackle's thrown back onto Cosmos, and they're just going to try to get this kill before the rest of the team comes in. He drops Cogs once he comes unshackled, but the bounces of the cast going to screw him up, and they manage to make it out. The mechanism just in time, but here comes the chrono onto Wumpkins and Calypso. They try to do anything to save them, but Wumpkin's going to fall to the right click of the Wind Ranger.
Good Nightmare to try for the save by Hanging Sky, but it just wasn't enough, and that slow might be it. But the Cogs maybe going to be a good block.
Oh no, he blocked himself in, and then he gets close. But here comes Calypso on the back line, trying to get the Chosen One. Mark's stuck there. He's going to go for Hanging Sky instead. The Silence and the Death Prophet is now back, destroying the Witch Doctor. And so far it's been a 2-for-2, but Mark is nightmared up. They used the Death Pact to try to get him, but he just time walks out of it, and he's like, screw this, TP, I'm out of here. They got the grip!
Oh! He pressed the button, but not quite fast enough, so that trade was almost nothing in terms of the gold. I guess you could argue in the tiniest bit it favored UNR because Witch Doctor hit 6 in the fight.
Yes. The only thing now is
I'd argue that.
They might be sacrificing this tower if Death Prophet decides, oh, they get the grip onto the Chosen One, dive in by Callisto, but it's going to be too deep. He ends up getting blown up by the Crow. Oh! Void being silenced. And here comes the cast from the Soul Suck. Jesse diving down a little too deep. Goes to the Nightmare, gets the Yules off, but here comes Mark. One last light crick's going to finish off the Death Prophet. Now,
Sunny very patient.
Hanging Sky. Oh! Ultimate.
Unfortunate that Death Ward didn't do anything, but he was before very patient, knowing that if he did cast the Death Ward immediately, it would have been canceled, because he knew he was going to get Nightmared.
Yeah.
So a little bit of patience. Unfortunate that he popped it anyway and that it kind of whiffed completely. And by kind of, I mean it whiffed completely, but... So that was just incredible greed from Columbia. They did not need to go for that. There was no reason for them to go for that. I mean, they got the Wind Ranger right, but you lost Slark and Death Prophet and Bane. That is not at all worth it. And maybe they got another support. I don't quite remember. I think it was a 2 for 3, but still heavily favoring UNR.
And on top of everything, you know, you completely shut down your own push. Like, they had a pretty decent push going on that tier 2. They were doing some good damage to it, and then with that overextension, it's going poorly for them. You know, the positioning of everybody has been fantastic coming out so far, so it's kind of shocking to see such crazy overextensions.
Maybe just a little bit of confidence. Maybe Columbia is just thinking, like, you know what, we're really far ahead, but that Slark didn't even have Shadow Dance.
Oof.
That was an extremely greedy play, and Void actually going to be going the DPS route. Very interesting.
Oh, hook on to Ryan from Cosmos, and this might be dead Lich. Yeah, he's he's dead. Chosen One coming around the back end, maybe looking to save, but decided to back out instead. So Lich down for 30 seconds.
He doesn't have his ult, so it's not like if Lich or Witch Doctor is dead and don't have their ult, it's not the worst thing. Especially Lich more than Witch Doctor.
Very true. Here comes the DP ult, looking to take on this mid tier 2 tower. Probably going to tank it with Slark, and then he'll just back out and regen. They throw the shackles, but he manages to pounce away.
Guardian Greaves bot on Cosmos.
Clockwork, nice. Steal of the power shot. He's going to be throwing it back.
Helps their team fight damage. They need to be real careful going up on this high ground.
Oh, damn. Definitely. The one good Chrono could really spell disaster for them, and Lich Ult is probably getting close to being up as well.
The exorcism's ending. They're just going to get out of here.
Yep. All right. There they go. They're out. So, successful push by them. It looks like they're going to refocus their attention. Probably, you know, maybe might go bot again, get that tier 2. Chrono, though, everybody's ready to fight on the side of UNR, so maybe we could see a Roche fight coming up here soon, as both teams looking ready, about ready to take it.
Yeah, I think if either team could get Roche really fast, actually. You've got Clinks and Wind Ranger on one end, and you've just got Death Prophet by herself. There is nothing wrong with committing a Death Prophet ult for Roshan. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I completely agree. Yeah, when people like, oh, but it's on the cooldown. It's but you have Roshan. You have 2 lives. You have this. It's completely worth it.
Especially if you give it to a hero like Slark, who's going to make such great use of those 2 lives. And Clinks actually went Dragonlance, and I'm not sure when he picked that up, but it had to be a little while ago. He's sitting on 1,200 gold. But that item's okay on him, especially if he disassembles it later.
I'd find that pretty likely. I think he's using it now because he can get himself a little bit better positioned in these fights. Here comes the hook on Clock 3. He gets the cogs. 2 are trapped in there with him, but here's the Death Ward coming and killing Cosmos as well. He uses his Greaves to try to stay alive. The Lich Ult coming out. Bounces twice. Gets the kill. 3 down for the side of UNR.
Oh, no.
Only for... Oh, no. And there goes 4. Wind Ranger getting pounced upon, and it's just disgusting from...
Rubik finished Blink Dagger and also still Chain Frost in that fight. So this next fight, for however long, I think it's 180 seconds, Rubik will be horrifying, and with Exorcism coming up, they could make a pretty good push on this high ground. There's no fortification, there's no void for 30 seconds.
No buybacks on anybody except for the Witch Doctor, who's going to be up, but he's going to be without his ultimate. So, and then here comes the DP ult. Jeezy, crazy.
Doing lots of damage. So this T3, I imagine, will be going down.
Yeah, they're going to be like, they might not get a complete.
I don't know if they're getting a Rax, and I honestly think they should be going for. I always get them confused, but I think they should be going for the ranged Rax, just so it doesn't heal. But it looks like they're gonna get this Rax.
Well, Ags on Wind Ranger, that might help them. They throw the fortification. Here's the Chrono on 3. Look at Slark, he's mid Flash leaping out, and he dies in the middle of the air. Jesse heals herself up as the Lich ult is bouncing around from the Rubik, not doing too much actually. And Jesse goes for the Soul Suck and gets earned out as she's going to take some tier damage. Oh, the power shot finishing her off. Wumpkin's trying to get out of there. He steals the dash around from the Void, and then he blinks up, and he might actually make it out of here. That was actually some heads-up play.
Yeah, Wumpkin's playing very well this game. His positioning has been awesome. He's contributed a lot to all of these fights, and has had some very good spell steals. I mean, stealing Chain Frost, it helped a lot in that fight. Granted, you did lose your Slug and your Death Prophet, but I think they did get the racks they were after, so it's not
lucky bashes, and now here comes a Shackle. Oh, but the hook in, trying to save the Bane. He gets the cogs off. Bane
maybe will.
He nightmares himself up, so he's like, I want not to die. But Cosmos maybe overcommitting here as they turn around. Looks like they're going to get him. Oh, another leap forward from the Void, and that's going to, well, be everybody but Wumpkins.
An awesome save attempt. It was an awesome save attempt, but unfortunately UNR were just ready. They managed to get both heroes in the end, and that's really good for them. Yeah, and so the net worth, some of their heroes just starting to catch up.
Oh, Void's now on top. By a decent margin as well. So they look like they're going to try to... Okay. Yeah. It looks like they're going to try to turn this into a tier 2 push. They've got the Wind Ranger ult, so this should go rather quickly. The amount of push that both teams have available is kind of ridiculous. Chronosphere should be up soon, but looks like they're going to go top instead. 5 dozen eggs finishes off the tower with just one shot from his Dragon Lance. He's picked up the Desolator recipe, so we'll probably see him becoming more of a factor here soon. 3 seconds till Chrono.
I like it because the heroes on the side of Columbia are very squishy, and most of them are pretty low armor anyway.
Wow,
so
look at that graph. Did you see that? It was just barely dipping into Columbia and then pinged 3 grand back into the way of UNR after those fights.
So UNR are just doing a good job keeping themselves composed and well postured.
Seriously. Oh, looks like
it's alive, but I don't think either team is going to go, oh, maybe they want it. They at least know that it's up, and it hasn't been claimed yet this game, so...
Looks like they might go for the D wards.
They're looking to D ward and maybe going to try Roche. Oh, so this Void going the old school build.
Oh, did he pick up a...
Mask of Madness.
There it is. Oof. A little gutsy nowadays, just because the but you can negate some of the extra damage you take with his new time walk, so could be worth it.
But it's also possible that he'll die in crowd control much more quickly now, because you don't have backtrack, which was just such a good spell in keeping him alive.
Definitely. Calypso and Jesse dancing around the Roche pit along with the rest of their team. UNR doesn't seem too scared of this. They smoke up, and while they looked like they were headed back home, so now they're going to head back towards the Roche pit. 5 dozen eggs leading the charge. Cosmos, who's invis, pops it. Chrono on to 3. He's hitting pretty hard, but
oh no!
Dive in, steal 4-man Chrono from the Rubik. Everybody's just stuck there. Now the Death Ward looking to finish off a few as they try to escape out of there. Zenny's doing some serious work, but Calypso on the back end finishes him off. A 1-for-2 trade, and now they're going in on Calypso, who has just been blown up. 3-for-1, even with that 4-man Chrono holding all of UNR where they were. Holy hell!
Wumpkins with that play, that was absolutely insane. But unfortunately, his team wasn't ready to follow up, and that's nothing on him. But
oh man,
now it's going to be a Roche.
Quick and easy Roche. Look at this. Oh man, who they get? They actually end up giving it up to the Clinks.
I don't think
I don't think so either.
Very squishy.
Oh, here we go. Maelstrom finished up by the Wind Ranger. Oh, except for they need to start defending this mid lane now. They got.
I can't believe that Chrono.
That was so good.
Oh my god, that was insane.
Oof. That Lich ult bouncing around. Yeah, it was just such crazy. It was so good on both teams. Because, you know, at the same time, you know, the Witch Doctor, he immediately when he was out of Chrono drops his Death Ward, and along with the Lich ult and everything. So you have those 2 giant ults just gnawing down Columbia. It was just such heads-up play. Cosmos smoked up, looking for somebody, along with Wumpkins. Goes out a scouting flare, doesn't see anybody, and nobody's near them as the smoke wears off.
We'll see. He might make use of that Chronosphere again, but has to be careful because Void can run through it. I'm sure he knows that, but it is possible that something might like backfire a little bit.
Definitely.
So both Chronospheres cooling down very soon.
Not enough mana on the side of.
I think if he tread swaps to it, he can.
Oh yeah. So interesting. Now, 2K, almost 2.5K for Faceless Void over the Death Prophet. The only problem is it too little to are they gonna have enough time to do anything with their mid being pushed in all of the time? They need to leave somebody there to kind of babysit it almost if they want to go take other objectives.
And Octarine Core actually just finished now on Jesse. So the timing for Columbia to fight is much more frequent now. They have a lot more like time because the Death Prophet will cool down without it on duration, and so 108-second cooldown, and it's not counting the 35-second duration of the spell. So really, it's like just over a minute of a downtime for the Death Prophet ult.
Oh man! Oh, 5 dozen eggs scouting out 3. Trying to decide whether he wants to try to get a pick off. Blink out from Rubik.
This. He does not want this.
None of this. Get out, brah. What are you doing?
If he goes for someone, that's just absolutely insane. That is mind-bogglingly insane. Oh no. Oh god.
Oh, Chrono! He jumps in, blinks in. Here's the Death Ward onto the high ground onto Cosmos. Hanging Sky going to be taken out almost immediately. And Cosmos tries to hookshot out, doesn't. Nice. Here's the Chrono from Wumpkins. And then the lift on top of Mark, holding the Faceless in place. Death Prophet ult going out. And he's got the heal from his Octarine Core already going. But it looks like they're just going to back out of this. The scouting, and that's a 2 for nothing. Quick and easy.
Just really good play from UNR. They're really on it. They're utilizing the vision that Clinks is providing them very effectively. And it's something they weren't doing earlier. And they're starting to be a lot more like in sync with everything. And it's starting to show, like, in Mark is definitely the MVP for them. But and on the side of Columbia, Wumpkins is playing out of his mind. Rubik is definitely a hero he is comfortable on, and unfortunately he's still strafe, a less than spectacular spell for Rubik.
It looks cool though.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Calypso pushed out the top lane.
Is towers are pretty even actually. I think both teams just have their 1T1 or T2, I should say. And one thing they have to worry about though is Clinks is falling behind the
dozen eggs getting they got the grip on him. He's totally dead.
Yep.
But that's only his first life. And they don't have the dust the second time. Oh, Zenny, who's going to probably be saving grace. But the focus on Zenny might be enough for... Yep, and so Clinks gets away as they focus on
Zenny.
Probably
okay with that. Yeah, they're okay with that.
Well, they cut him the first time because he was under a ward. Then he got out from under the ward. Then they dusted him. Then they killed him, and they didn't have any other detection, so...
One thing that's going to be a little telling is if Clinks or Slark gets ahead of the other, like a 1K, like a 1 item lead, then that's going to be really big. Because these are the 2 heroes that, as the game goes later and later and later, are going to be the ones that are the most important. Definitely. And I think Chainfrost just flew, but what was it on?
I have no idea. Heard it, didn't see it. Interesting, as we have maybe might be seeing some BOTs coming out here as they try to split push each other. Because both teams
could easily just like devolve into a split push fest.
I mean, you've got Clinks and Wind Ranger on one side, and then Death Prophet and Slark on the other. It's it could definitely degrade into that.
I think UNR have better push, like more consistently.
Definitely.
I mean, a lot of Columbia's push comes from their Death Prophet. But UNR, it's the 15-second Wind Ranger ult cooldown. Clinks has a Desolator and Strafe, so they really good
UNR.
push.
They either smoking to take Roche themselves.
They know where Cosmos is. And Cosmos.
It's coming in. Oh, yeah, they just jump in on him.
He's dead, man.
Shackled, not even gonna get out of it as the last tick of the Witch Doctor's Maledict finishes him off. Wumpkins, he's invisible and he's terrified. You can tell. Oh no! Look at it. He's. It looked like he was.
He knows the if he did anything there, that would have been horrifying.
Right? It's like.
I mean, he had his Blink Dagger and a Force Staff, so it is possible he could have escaped, but it's a little bold. And Slark finishing up an Eye of Scotty, so now has almost I think it's a 900 gold lead on this Clinks.
I think that also puts him in the survivability range of not having to worry about dying inside of a chrono unless he's taking a lot of damage from another source.
It's still really possible, just thanks to, wow, man, that XP graph is not something you want to see if you're Columbia.
Whew.
The supports on their side are just getting really well leveled. The net worth is a little less so. I think it's around 4K.
Yep.
But it's still a lead, and I actually think it's kind of hard for Columbia to... If the Chronospheres of UNR are good, then it's a little hard to come back.
Clink's just destroying Bane. And then he gets out before Calypso can come and save. So
oh, he's going to Daedalus. Oh, goodness, Clinks.
Oof.
If Slark is caught in Chrono, he's just dead. If Clinks is able to attack him inside the Chrono, he's dead.
And I think that's why he went Dragonlance, so he could attack inside of the Chrono.
I was just thinking that. It really helps him so he doesn't accidentally scoot into the Chronosphere.
Which is the most maddening thing in the world when you're playing a Clinks. You're like, oh, yeah. Oh.
If you're like a Death Prophet with your ult going, eh. But if you're a Clinks who just needs to right-click,
Yeah, exactly. All right, so a dozen eggs gonna just TP out of here. Not in any danger of getting caught by Calypso today.
And the Ags now finished on Mark, and it's an interesting build. He's going kind of like the hybrid utility damage void.
Yeah, he's trying to mix the old and the new ways.
I mean, it's working out for him very well so far. He's played that hero to great effectiveness, and his Chronospheres have been awesome and have won him a lot of fights. But I mean, if I'm being honest, Wumpkins has had some pretty good Chronospheres too.
Seriously. Well, it looks like we got a smoke up in the enemy jungle from UNR. Looking to rotate on Columbia. Calypso pushing out their bottom lane at the same time, though, so they're kind of wasting a lot of time while their mid and bottom lanes get pushed in. They're looking for anybody, not finding much. Oh, but never mind. There you go. They get the clockwork, but they blow a Chrono for it. I don't know if that was worth it.
The 1 minute cooldown on Chrono with Ags, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Doggy's got it.
Just, yeah, if he hadn't had the Ags, it'd be like 100 seconds or 90 seconds or something, and then not worth. But with the minute cooldown on Ags, you can just basically get a kill every minute with the Chrono. And even if it's one-person Chronos for pickoffs, it doesn't matter.
Very nice. Looks like they're looking to turn this into a push at the tier 2 top. With the Desolator and everything, they might be able to outpush and win the base race, but they're giving up this bottom tower. And with them already macing their mid, they're going to have to go back and defend this. They're taking everybody else back except for the archers, who are just going to look to finish this off. Look at it go. It's bouncing around. Oh, but here comes the Death Prophet ult. No fortification for the Radiant. Wumpkins almost died. Oh, no! Yeah, that was a Maelstrom proc. Oh, purged off immediately when the shackles get thrown. Zenny looking for a good ult. 5 dozen eggs cut out by Cosmos top. He gets dusted up, but with Hanging Sky, that's gonna be enough. And 3, 2, dead. Chrono thrown out on Calypso.
So could be in trouble, but there's not a lot of follow-up damage here.
Yeah, so like I said, he's too. Oh, with a beautiful shackle, and that is a dead Slark.
What a shackle!
So 2 for 1 in a tower, going the way of UNR.
I'm very impressed with UNR. I mean, they played really well last game, but they've done a really good job kind of like rallying together and saying, you know what, we're not going to lose this series.
Yeah, they feel like a team who is they're relatively new, so they're learning each other's skills and their strengths, and it feels like they're really clicking on this game like they kind of missed a little bit of the last game.
And their draft is a lot more synergistic this game. Last game, it was a decent draft, but it didn't feel like it had a ton of synergies.
Yeah, and I think with newer teams, when it's more obvious what you're going to be going for, it really helps them out.
So Aetherland's done on Bane. That was done a little while ago, so that's going to be really annoying for Mark.
Oh, seriously.
And Shiva's Guard seems to be Jesse's next item.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be awful for the Clinks. Clinks is gonna suffer. The attack speed slow is gonna hurt him a lot. And Faceless Void, similar story.
Oh, here we go. We're looking at it go. Okay. Wumpkins in the woods.
Is Ags done on Zenny? Or Zen?
Oh wait, is it?
He has the courier. He has 18 gold. At least another piece of it's coming.
Yes.
Thing. So now we can see if those Chronos connect on just like 2 or 3 heroes, it's gonna be devastating.
Holy hell, I'm excited.
Especially if there's like Clinks or a Chain Frost.
Blink forward by Mark. It looks like they're trying to get out of it, but nothing too much. Oof, man, I'm really excited. It's one of my favorite Ags upgrades in the game. Oh, hook shot, gonna be just barely off Mark. Zenny saved by the skin of his ass.
Radiant's top tower.
It's good that he didn't get picked off there. I think he does not have buyback. He is a poor, poor Witch Doctor. But if he did get picked off there, it could have turned into easily a lane of Rax or like a free Roche. And it looks like Roche is definitely next on the menu for Columbia.
Jesse already in the pit. No real response from UNR. I don't think they're even going to be able to make it there in time. BOT's picked up by the Faceless Void, and I'm not sure if that puts him outside of buyback range. Maybe a little bit of a dangerous pickup here. Look at this freaking Octarine just healing the crap out of Jessie. She can't even take damage.
And I mean, her ult's not even going to be down that long after the Roche.
So if you're Columbia, you put it on the Slark, right? Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah. No, Death Prophet with Ags is really kind of bad because
yeah, once she blows her ult.
Exactly. It's kind of like Lycan. Okay, Lycan with Aegis is one thing. But Death Prophet is a hero that's like, alright, I don't have my ult. And I have come back from my second life, but no ult.
Yeah, you guys better get away from me.
Yeah, I mean, Soul Siphon's a strong spell. Don't get me wrong. It's not terrible, but if I had to choose between her and Slark every step of the way.
Oh, definitely. Alright, so it looks like UNR is getting back into pushing out that top lane, which was already pushed all the way to their tier 2 tower. And if you're Calypso, what do you think you go next? You got your Ice-Gotti, you got your Shadow Blade.
Basher.
Oh,
Abyssal Blade. So BKB is not great this game. Most of the spells on UNR pierce BKB. So I would go an Abyssal or an MKB maybe. But I would prefer to see like a Basher.
I was thinking MKB just for the Wind Ranger dodges and everything, and the mini bash should be enough to stop some of the channeled ults. But I think straight up Basher might be better. I like the way you think.
I wonder if he's gonna go a defensive item. He could. It's not a terrible idea, but I think if he does, it's kind of a misplay because there isn't that much. His survivability is fine.
5 Snakes caught out, but manages to get away. They pop the dust, but they don't manage to catch the kill.
So right now, Clinks and Slark are so close to each other, and they're both in a 1v1. I think Slark would win strictly because of but strictly because of Shadow Dance and his Agi steal or his attribute steal.
These two Ags, I'm super excited
These
about.
are huge Ags upgrades. And
oh my god.
UNR are going to be taking team fights by force.
Oh, they get the 5 Snakes picked off early. If they throw the... Oh, there's the Chrono. Marks jumped in. Here's the Death Ward. It's only bouncing off the Cosmos because Calypso's invisible. Now they get it. He's getting Clink down, but they don't have the visions. Changing out to Webkins. Back to Jesse. As only the Clinks and Clockwork fallen so far. Zenny now in trouble because Calypso takes him buyback from the Void, and the Clinks as they went down. And they've killed off the Slark the first time. Jesse just shackled up and destroyed as she was getting healed up by her ultimate. Wumpkins manages to steal, nothing good. And the right click's going out, gonna be enough to kill Hanging Sky. Mark zip in front of him.
Oh man, that Feeble takes no damage, but Bash more than enough. That definitely favors Columbia.
Yeah, those buybacks are huge.
Yep.
Oof. And I don't really think it was worth the buybacks. I mean...
If they didn't, I don't know. They might have got Death Prophet. So I think it's not the push. Yeah. But it's expensive, to say the least. It was expensive.
You know, they're probably thinking, if I don't buy back now, they take the tier 2, and then I'll just have to buy back anyway under the tier 3. If I buy back now, save the tower, and possibly take the fight. So actually, you know, not bad buybacks by any means. They made them work for themselves. It's just that's a lot of gold expenditure. Oh, Chrono onto Wumpkins. And one more. Oh, the hook shot!
Oh, no.
Oh, but he just gets himself stunned in the Chrono. Yeah, he forces himself to the low ground, but
nice
good Cogs. Woo. Jump in. Front.
They're so deep,
bash.
though.
Oh, Courier taken out. Sniped out by 5 eggs.
Oh, yeah, it's Slark with Basher. And so Abyssal is his next item. I kind of expected that. It'll allow him to solo kill anyone on the enemy team. Gives him much needed damage because outside of the Death Prophet, their damage is pretty poor. Yeah. Especially if her ult is down, their damage is really, really poor.
Interesting. You see Clinks deny the invisibility rune instead of taking it? He's just like...
I guess he figures he doesn't need it. And Daedalus will be done on Clinks fairly soon, but I think he should go a survivability item after the Daedalus. Like a BKB would be okay. Maybe not. It's the same story. Lots of BKB piercing stuff. So... if you're Clinks, Deso is a UAM, so you can't stack it. A good survivability item might be Butterfly, I guess, would be the best thing I could picture for him. just armor, agility. Satanic's not going to help, I don't think, because I don't think he can Satanic with Deso.
No,
he might be able
stack.
to. Yeah, so I think Butterfly would be a great item on Clinks.
Definitely. And without this late in the game, nobody's going to be building an MKB super fast.
And maybe a Lincoln Sphere wouldn't be terrible, but just for the Bane.
Oh yeah, the bit of control that's really been keeping him from doing too much work in these team fights.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Interesting. MKB picked up by Windranger. I mean, it's always a good item to have. It's just not a whole ton of dodge or anything on the side of...
If Slark gets caught in Chrono and they can't kill Void or Clinks, the game is over. There's really not that much about it, because the problem with Colombia's draft, not to say they can't win, I mean, they won that last fight, they're like a dual core lineup. They're like, our damage is Death Prophet and Slark. If Death Prophet and Slark go down, which is hard to do, then they're in trouble.
Cosmos caught up. Look at the Clink's damage. It's ridiculous. Like 3-shot, a freaking clockwork.
Yeah, with the Daedalus.
Oh, and that's like it's not like a little namby-pamby hero at all. It's like,
no,
that's like clockwork.
And on the side of UNR, you have to be afraid of this Windranger. You have to be afraid of this Clinks. The support duo does a ton of damage with their ults.
It's looking good for UNR.
I would be... it's still... They're not out of the woods, right? They're ahead in kills, but the net worth must be extremely close, barely favoring UNR.
Yeah.
XP-wise, it's heavily favoring UNR, but net worth-wise, it's got to be close. Look at the net worth. Void is barely ahead. The other three heroes are tied. The issue...
Holy hell.
For UNR is their Clinks is 3k gold behind, 3k gold behind Slark. They need Clinks to catch up to Slark.
Nightmare onto Clinks, taken off by the Windranger. Steals the power shot.
Rubik with Focus Fire isn't like terrifying anyway, so I think Power Shot's... Shackle's the best spell he could steal from her. Power Shot's a decent spell.
Definitely. It lets him harass down the creep wave and just lets that...
wave clear, more AoE damage.
Yeah. Another Rocket Flare coming out, just pushing this top lane out for the Dire. They're just kind of subtly making it work for them. So now UNR has to back and deal with that, as Windranger's already TP'd back. Lose Rune picked up by Mark as he gets ready to roam around.
Mark should get a Vlad's. I don't think they have a Vlad's on their team, and I think Vlad's would be great, because the Lifesteal aura would work for the Clinks, giving them some survivability. There's an armor aura, the mana regen, whatever, but the damage aura is really, really good. I think most teams should, in my opinion, like almost every team should have a Vlad's on them at some point, like in the late game for sure, and we're approaching that mark where it's going to be late game, and Vlad's would be good for both teams.
Smoke up. Oh, no. It goes into it. Can they get they missed the leash onto him, but they get the lift from the Rubik. The right click's coming out from 5 dozen eggs, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, no. Not without throwing a chrono. He falls instantly. Cosmos is about to die. No, uphill miss, and they don't get the kill on him. Meanwhile, the bounces from the Lich aren't enough to get anybody killed. Hanging Sky. Okay, 5 dozen eggs finally gets the kill on the clockwork, and he's got
offlaters.
Still, I would much rather have that Void up than the clockwork.
Yes, the Void is way more important to UNR than Clock is to Columbia. And like a lot of their team on UNR relies on having the Void. Columbia, it's like, all right, we don't have Hookshot, whatever. We've got Blink Force Rubik. Slark is beefy and mobile. But without Exorcism, they might be hesitant to push, so they've at least got that going on. One.
5 dozen eggs. 1, 2, 3. Dead. I gotta say, he's been really effective at just finding those little pickoffs here and there and really stalling out the side of Columbia. Oh, there's the shackle. Doesn't hit on anything, but Clinks is here.
Very fortunate.
Just bounces out and throws his ult, and he'll just walk away.
If that shackle had connected, he would have very quickly died, I think, from Focus Fire and Clinks. There was no strafe though, but Clinks hits very hard, and there's Focus Fire.
Definitely.
Roche is up in a minute. Either team could really make huge use of this.
Actually, this might be a deciding Roche. Whoever gets this is going to have the sustain they need to make that high ground push.
I think the 2 people that Roche being on is super important. If Slark gets it, because then it doesn't matter if he gets caught in the chrono the first time. Yep. He'll be able to come out and fight. Or if Clinks gets it. Because Clinks is a very squishy hero. But if he gets that Roche, then he can just stand out like in the middle of the enemy team and just rip everyone to pieces. Man, that XP lead is ridiculous.
It's insane how much XP they have, but not that convincing of a gold lead. Like it's
the Clinks just isn't farming well enough. Honestly, a big problem UNR have is their Clinks is like 3k gold behind Slark.
Oof.
He needs to catch up. He needs like a butterfly. He could go more damage, but I think he needs some beef now.
Yeah. All right. Well, looks like Wumpkins gets the lift off the Chosen One. So here comes the silence and the Fiend's Grip. That's going to be a dead. Oh, even Hookshot. Chrono coming in to try to save him. Oh, the Death Ward is placed inside of the Chrono. You hate to see it. They've got to get out of here. They can't fight this anymore. Ryan throws his ult, but that's already a dead Faceless Void. His ult only bounces twice, but 5 dozen eggs gets a kill on the backline on the Bane. Zenny's trapped in with Cosmos. They get the steal of the Death Ward, and Zenny's going to go down.
So unfortunate. If that death would have been just a little bit further south, it could have been. It could have really made the fight for them. But oh man, that's so unfortunate. And now this is Necro 2 creeps.
Yeah, and the desperation, the Chrono to try to save him was so good. And had that death ward been just outside of the Chrono for like a fraction of an inch, it would have been. It could have been a very different team fight. But oh, you hate to see that. Oh. Man, Slark almost getting picked off on the top by Clinks. Clinks having a...
Clinks could go in Orchid, and it wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. Oh, Jesse
I don't
coming
think
in.
It would be amazing, though. It's kind of late for it to be really amazing.
Do you see this cheekiness? Pulls the creeps off of the top lane into the mid lane where they have the super creeps, annihilates them, and lets the top lane push. I love little plays like that because they make a ton of difference.
Yeah, it really does. And now there's going to be a lot of pressure on this T3, and Bane has Necro 3. That's really crazy.
Oh, God. It's funny, not a very common thing you see on Bane, but it's been really effective this round.
I think they know that a lot of this, I think they know that their push isn't actually like that great. But right now, just based on the Slark finishing Abyssal Blade, and I love the Blade no pickup. It does not work against the Death Ward. It will not work against the Death Ward. But Lich and a little bit of Wind Ranger with the Wind Ranger and Void will hurt themselves on their Maelstroms.
Oh yeah.
But because I do not believe Death Ward reflects Off-Blade Mail. It's kind of like Techie's mines. They don't work.
You know what's crazy? Rubik just picked up his Aghanim Scepter. So now all of those juicy ults are Ag's ults. Oh.
The one he wants is the Death Ward, I think.
Oh, God, yes.
And that's the easiest one to steal,
Hook shot onto the Clinks, and they trap him inside the clogs. Wind Ranger is also trapped inside, but the Chrono on the back end. He gets Jesse. Cosmos immediately thrown up, but they get the Nightmare on top of him. Oh, and the Death Ward from Rubik! He's destroying them! Jeff finds his next. He sees the vision because of the creeps, and now he has to run away. Oh, no, Mark on the back end. Calypso's getting him, but he walks forward, able to get out. It's a 2-for-2 trade so far. They get the lift on the Wind Ranger and the Fiend's Grip. That's a 3-for-2 trade. A triple kill for Calypso as he leaps forward, trying to get another, as Mark needs to, he's escaping in the bottom lane. Whew.
Oh, God.
K net worth swing. Holy.
Yeah, that was just beautiful execution from Columbia. And despite a really good Chronosphere from Mark, the fact that Rubik had that Death Ward made a lot of difference. Void couldn't stand inside his own Chrono on top of the Death Ward, plus the Exorcism damage coming out.
Nightmare up on 5 dozen eggs. He's right-clicking down Calypso, pops his ult, and manages to get out. That was... Oh, my God. You said everything.
Play.
Oh, Blinking Chrono gets hit in the sky. Doesn't get Calypso, though. This is going to be dead Bane, but Wumpkins gets the lift inside of his own Chrono, places him back, throws his Chrono down onto 5 dozen eggs. Mark is pissed. He just tries to leap forward, but he steals the leap, leaps forward, steals the time dilation while he's time dilated, and, the Slark end up getting a kill on the Wind Ranger. Faceless Void takes out.
It was a good steal, but unfortunately, the hero that needed to be stopped was the Void, less the Clinks, and the Void is like, okay, I'll just walk through this Chronosphere.
Oh, Calypso, 2 Invis heroes dancing around each other as one takes the arcade. No, doesn't even grab the
they know something's up, but he's fine. I don't think... So it actually looks like Clinks is going to be going to Lincolns with that. Or maybe, actually, it might not be a bad pickup, a Scythe. I think a Scythe would be actually pretty good on Clinks. Yeah. His damage is already very high, and if he scythes this Slark, he's done.
Well, Scythe can just immediately translate into pickoffs.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it before, and it's very effective. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I think it would be really good because they do have a problem with single target control once the Chronosphere ends. Shackle and Cask are great control spells, but they're not the most reliable.
5 dozen eggs and Calypso. Oh, they shoot Cosmos. The rest of the team. Dozen eggs needs to get out of here.
Calypso knows something's up. He has to know something's up. Just because he doesn't have his boost. Oh no, the Necro Creep.
They walk right into it. There's the Chrono on a 2. He manages to just catch. Oh man, look, 2, 3. Oh wow, he lost his. Oh, the Death Lord. Gonna be enough to finish off Clinks. Oh no, Clinks died on the back end. Sorry. The Vayne getting out of it and turning the Fiend's Grip around onto the Void, who dies. Oh, Shackle shot up and then dead. Ryan dead. Oh man, that Lich Orb bouncing back and forth. Oh, but he's invis and it doesn't help.
Oh yeah, good invis, good invis.
Wind Ranger, gets the latch and the Abyssal. That's all they needed.
That is a real bad sign for UNR.
And with their everything getting pushed, this is gonna turn. This might be game losing for them.
This is the moment that's kind of like, okay, it's still possible for them to win, but it just now feels like that their cores aren't doing enough anymore.
Yeah, those two.
This Slark lives for too long. It's so hard for them to kill him.
Oh man, and he just keeps on getting out of all of their control. Like a buyback on the Wind Ranger and the Clinks, because that's all they have. Another 45 seconds for the Faceless Void. Shackle not going to latch onto anything. And right clicks, leaps away from him. Jesse dives in, gets the silence on top of the Wind Ranger. 5 dozen eggs. Looks to just. There's nothing you can do. There's okay, they get Jesse.
Jesse's in trouble, but a good Abyssal.
Oh, the Chosen One getting destroyed by this Clinks. Oh, the Lucky Bounce! He might be able to get out of here. Zenny going for the body block, but and now the opposite end. 5 dozen egg takes out the Bane. Looks to take out Jesse with one more shot, but decides to give it up. Turns back, maybe looking to get the Slark. The Slark looking to get him as well. The pounce. Oh, and it gets the Abyssal Bash, and that's GG. It's not awfully close.
Yeah, it's definitely extremely problematic.
Faceless back up, looking to get the Chrono. Dives in. Misses the Chrono! But Calypso walks into it, but he's still invisible. They can't see him. Throws the time dilation so he can't get his ult off. There's the Lich popping and bouncing around, but Calypso just has too much damage. Mark needs to get out of here. He's going to die. The bash and the right. Oh! Lich! Oh, for the win.
The Ags upgrade just bounces forever. It's not. I mean, thankfully the Slark died. Thankfully, if you're UNR, but if Slark hadn't died, it would have been pretty bad.
Yeah, little life though. Still, got a pause coming out real quick. Oh, so much action in the last little bit. So
this game has been insane.
All right, so we've got a pause here. Wumpkin's gonna go to the bathroom. Not a bad plan. And holy hell. Okay, so some items to look at. We've got pretty much everyone.
Everyone.
So farmed. Lincoln Sphere actually finished by the look at these graphs.
Just diving right down in favor of Columbia. And this Slark, 10k gold ahead of Clinks, 6k gold ahead of Faceless, and 9k gold ahead of Wind Ranger.
Good God, he just came out of like
over this game.
Oh man, yeah, I hate to see such just a destruction. Like, and they were playing so well. UNR, they've been playing excellently so far, and it's just managing to work their way around the Chronos and everything. Man, Columbia coming out again. Oh, looks like we're gonna have a game unpausing here in 3, 2. One.
So it's just this Slark, and I mentioned it earlier. Whichever one, it was gonna be. This game feels a lot like, and it's obviously more than that, but it does feel a lot like Slark versus Clinks. Whichever one gets more ahead will probably win this game. And now this 10k gold difference between the two heroes is almost insurmountable. Yeah,
it's definitely intimidating. Jessie coming in, she has the ult ready, and she's gonna blow it. And there it is. Bye-bye. So they get a free Roche out of the deal, it looks like. Probably going to put it on... Well, who'd you put it on? Do you think you get...
Slark again, because they already have a hard time killing him once. Oh, but Slark's dead.
Yeah.
Maybe Death Prop, maybe... it doesn't... Clock wouldn't be bad, I guess.
That's what I was thinking. So Clockwork, because he has his Ags, I believe. He'll be able to just keep jumping around and disrupting everything. But they decided to just leave it for the Slark and guard it.
Are they just going to defend this? It's not a bad choice, but they need to be careful because there is a Chronosphere.
Yeah, and
but UNR would have to smoke out to get it. And yeah, they're just going to give it to Death Prophet. They don't want to risk it. I think she probably handed off the cheese to someone else. And she's on top of 5k gold, so we could see a Scythe. We could see, like, she has Shiva, she has Octarine. Maybe Refresher, sometimes they get that in the Ultra late. And a very interesting pickup from Slark. You don't usually see, like, an Assault PRS on Slark.
Maybe he feels like he's going to try to make up for their lack of push with it.
It would help. It would accelerate their push a little bit. And it does make the UNR team a little bit squishier, and his team a little bit beefier.
Man, look at these. Okay, look how many range creeps are. They're just destroying.
There's so many range creeps.
All right, the last defense of the Ancient coming up here. They're getting ready. Okay.
This is going to be the fight.
The owner
but here's the problem. I think Slark bought out for that AC. So if they team wipe them and have the top lane pushed out, then they can win. But because mid and bot will probably be pushed into their base, but if top wave is like across the river, they can TP their heroes up there, push in really fast, and quite possibly win the game with their extremely fast tower pushing. So this could turn into a base race. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Just real quick, remind everybody we're gonna be giving away a tiny statue coming up after this set. So keep listening for that as we get a smoke inside of the Dire jungle. They're looking to get some pickoffs. They trace the map to go through the secret shop and then come up through the mid lane. Let's see if they stick to that.
If they find anyone, it could be over. Especially the Void. If they get Void, who I believe had to expend buyback, or no, Clink's bought back and Windranger bought back. So if they get Clink's, Windranger, or Void, then the game could end. They need those three heroes to be in good position.
Okay, Bane shows himself up top, trying to be some juicy bait, and destruction of a ward coming out from the Clockwork. See if he pops his Necro 3s and just leaves them to siege. All right, they're looking to push it now. It's funny, she doesn't have her Yules anymore.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Traded it in for the blade.
I think that's okay.
You don't want to blow a single. Holy hell! Look at the damage coming out from Clinks.
Gotta be careful for that blade mail.
Oof! Seriously.
Zenny getting tons of damage after killing that creep.
But they still managed to take one of the racks. Only one remains between UNR and Mega Creeps. Strife stolen by Rubik. And it looks like they're going to back off and, pick up some Ancients?
So, they can just wait out the Death Prophet ult. They should have Aegis for a minute or two after the Death Prophet ult. Yeah, they'll have it for another minute after Death Prophet ult cools down. So they should just wait for that, then try to ball up and go. Because I think they need to have the Death Prophet ult to make this happen.
And with that, Faceless Void is going to disconnect real quick. Hopefully he'll be back here in just a second. And like I said before, we are going to be giving away a tiny statue at the end of this set of games. So it's a best of 3. So, oh man, I'm so jealous. Look at this little guy. He's so adorable. It's, in case you're wondering what it looks like, it's before he gets any points in his ultimate. So he's just this tiny little rock man picking up a giant tree. Why? Because style.
I love that figurine so much. It's just so hard to get.
It is, because now, like I said, you can't get it available through the Dota 2 store, so, I mean...
I think it's probably the most popular one, honestly.
Oh, yeah. That or the Bounty Hunter.
Oh.
Because that Bounty Hunter is pretty awesome.
I have myself the Bounty Hunter, and it's like one of my most prized possessions. Is the Bounty Hunter.
It sold out so quick during TI. I was kind of sad not to get one.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, what do you see anything good for UNR to come back into this game? They just need to win 2 convincing team fights, I'd say, because I think 1 wouldn't be enough.
Yeah. 1 is not enough. They need 2, and they need to kill this Slark as soon as the fight breaks out. Honestly, the Death Prophet, she's not a non-factor. That's like a huge overstatement to say that she doesn't matter right now. But it's the Slark. The Slark is the bane of their existence at this point in the game.
And he's just so hard to kill right now. I mean, he's got all of the escape mechanisms in the world.
Shard. his
Oh,
next
just-
item.
That's fantastic. Oh man, look at this XP graph.
And
Oh,
it just
the net
plummeted.
worth 14K.
This game was so good, looked so good for UNR, but a couple bad fights made bad by one fight was made really bad by a poorly positioned Death Ward, which
Yep.
was so tragic
Oh god.
that he put the Death Ward right inside the Chrono. And then Wumpkins has had some awesome spell steals. Bane and Rubik, they've made a lot happen in these team fights.
Definitely, Bane's nightmares have been ridiculously on point. Like every time you're like, oh, they should not. Like you don't even get the chance to think a nightmare would be good here, and it's already happening.
Exactly.
So, if they can getting the synergy seems to be becoming a problem for UNR as the game goes on. They have they're getting the good chronos on multiple heroes, but they're not getting any of the follow-up ults or anything that they were doing so well in the early game, and I'd like to see more of that come back for them.
If there's the dream, so UNR could win this game because they have the dream combo, right? You got the Chrono, Death Ward, Infinite Chain Frost, and then I don't care who you are, those 3 spells plus the Wind Ranger and the Clinks hitting you, you could die. Anyone would die.
It's we got some chat going on. Let me check it out. It's just an ETA, so
yeah, they're just wondering when we're gonna get started. So we don't know when we're gonna go just yet, guys, but hopefully very soon. And I want to applaud UNR though for this game. They had a pretty rough go of it last game, to say the least. But early game they seemed to be holding their own for a little while, but then it just got out of control. Like they got stomped after the 15-20 minute mark. It kind of just snowballed out. That Invoker, Jesse, got so far ahead, and his impact on this Death Prop has been very, very high. But the Slark is the most important one.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's Slark. And the fact is, like, he didn't have, like, the best start, but he didn't have a bad start, and he just managed to bring it up and become 5K above his closest competitor.
Yeah. And the game was the most even when Clinks and Slark were close. But now this Clinks is just getting outclassed by Slark.
Yeah.
He's just getting outdone.
He doesn't have the pounce escape, and he can't just walk away, recover, and come back. And it's looking grim.
Oh yeah, it does not look great for UNR. I think it looks really poor for them. I would say there's like a 75-25 chance of Columbia winning this game.
Yeah.
And things are a little... I mean, again, the dream combo, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it's interesting to see the lack of cosmetics on a lot of these heroes. I don't know. I love the cosmetics in Dota, so I like to see a lot of them. Like,
I'm surprised this guy doesn't have the $350 Slark sword, man.
Right? The way he's playing it.
Yeah. Where's that at?
Oh, man,
that was a hot item, to say the least.
We've got our cameraman going through, and he's showing the views of all the heroes in the showcase mode. It really looks pretty cool.
Bane looks
terrifying.
high out of his mind. Oh, okay, yeah, that too. But
so high it's scary.
I mean, the way his head was.
Yeah. Oh, we got some Dust of Appearance sitting on. Is that the Final Fantasy Courier?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's been a while since I've seen that.
I think my favorite is the Golden Devourling. I think that thing is, or Golden Seekling, whatever the Bloodseeker one is. It's so cute.
I don't know. This Mothra's kind of adorable too.
On a side note, Clinks is going for a Scythe. He has an Ultimate Orb in his inventory and a Void Stone.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I think that item is really important for them. I think they need that kind of control.
Oh, we got G's. We're getting ready to dive back in.
Even with it, it'll be hard.
It'll be hard. All right. And we're back. So the base defense has become a real issue for UNR as they look at it go and they just try to right-click everything down. They've got 2 Maelstrom on their side. Well, a Maelstrom and a Mjolnir just to help with that wave clear so they can keep that last barracks. Oh, God. It's so sad. And it's not even one that recovers health.
And 3.8k gold on Slark still. He might go finish his Moonshard. If he has the surplus, he's finishing it. Yeah, he can buy back still.
Woo.
He shouldn't eat it. If he eats it, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna
Seeps
vomit.
out.
But
Oh God! Look
no,
at
that
speed.
he might honestly, and so he could get Silver Edge, but it's not that good here. There's not really any passives to disable, right? So honestly, probably just eat the Moon Shard once you can afford a second Moon Shard. And Klink's Scythe finished. Scythe
Ooh.
finished on Klink's. This could be a big item. This is very important.
Especially with the way that Columbia is spreading out, trying to farm the entire map. Of course, now that I say that, they're grouping up, but oh, they got a lot of the pings out coming out.
I think that Aegis is timing out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Frozen. I almost called him Frozen Eagle, but Eggs, so scouting him out. He needs to be careful though. If he gets caught, it's pretty much over.
Frozen Eagle. Sounds like a terrible 80s song. Oh, they got the ward.
Oh God.
Radiant's middle
Oh
is
God.
But oh man, they're losing their tier 4 tower at the same time. Clinks, he's under the ward. He comes out trying to get Hanging Sky, but the hook in from the clockwork. They've got him trapped. The pounce is off Spark though, and he's just dead. No buyback.
Honestly, that's game.
That's so sad.
Unless they get a big Chrono Chain Frost.
The Chrono Wombo's there. It's there. Aegis has been reclaimed.
Aegis just was reclaimed, but
they need to make it happen now. Oh, the Blinken gets the Chrono only on Jesse. They get the Wombo. They get it all, but it's only on Jesse. This isn't gonna be enough.
Great.
Chrono on 4. Is he gonna steal the other?
If he steals that Jet 4, okay.
Okay, good.
Oh, my heart can only take so much.
But it looks like they're turning it around. They only lost their Witch Doctor. Oh, come on. Oh, there goes everybody. That's triple kill going the way. A buyback from the Void, but he doesn't have Chrono. Windrun doing some work as she... Oh, but there's the last bit of damage they need. Buyback on everybody but Clinks. And they've all died. Now they're all back, so there's a good chance of winning this team fight now. But that... Oh, man. Mark beating himself to death. Raindrax is gone. Spell Steel grabs the Maledict, and Void's down, 123 seconds. Zenny looking to drop here a second. There's lightning everywhere. The freaking Ancient is down to a third of the health. Dominating spree for freaking Calypso. He cocks himself into their own fountain. GG as the clockwork falls and buys back. The Death Prophet died, and there we're zooming in and waiting for the explosion. There it is. And Columbia take the series 2-0.
It was a great game.
Oh man,
It
both
was-
really close. I enjoyed it. Oh, so much fun.
It's a very back and forth game, and I am I mean, they lost, but I'm very impressed with UNR. I think the issue for them was, look at Klink's GPM. It was not spectacular.
Yeah.
He just didn't do enough. At the early stages of the game, he was great. But once he started falling behind the Slark, you could feel how far behind they were falling.
Yeah, it got a little ugly there. And like I said, I think they're one of the newer teams, and I think they show a lot of potential in their upcoming matches. I'm excited to see more coming out of UNR and Columbia both. So with that, any last thoughts on this series?
Congratulations to Columbia. I look forward to seeing how they progress throughout this tournament. They were very strong here, and Jesse has displayed that he can play these meta heroes in the mid, and Calypso had a fantastic showing on both Sven and Slark, and it was... I'm very impressed.
Decidedly so. I completely agree. But at the same time, I'm kind of interested to see, because I love watching good supports. Lumpkin's shown some serious plays on the Rubik, and I'm curious to see how deep the hero pool for Columbia goes, because they didn't seem to have any problems playing any of the heroes that they were given.
They did 5 completely different heroes both games.
Yeah, which is rare to see nowadays. So with that, Columbia takes it 2-0. We've got, well, I guess that's the end of the series. So we're going to be giving away a Tiny statue. I think anybody in chat's probably excited for that. So what you got to do right now, if you're in chat, spam Tiny. Like type Tiny, copy, paste it, and spam the shit out of it. Because we're going to be giving away that Tiny statue coming up right now. So get in there, start typing Tiny. Do it now. Not seeing any Tinies.
I think there's a delay. I think there's like a short delay on the stream. And if no one does it, we just type it into chat. Tony. See, that's Tony. It's not Tiny. There's 1, 2. All right, people are getting it now. They're getting it now.
There we go. There it is. Fantastic. So with that, keep spamming Tiny as we come up with this post-game analysis for you. So MVP, who would you give it to?
Wumpkins.
Wumpkins?
I don't even have to
Okay.
think about it. It's Wumpkins.
I agree as well that those insane his chronos, he had 2 4-man chronos on a Rubik stealing chrono. Like, it's hard to argue against that.
Yeah, game 2 Wumpkins, game 1 Jesse.
Jesse, definitely that invoker. Holy hell. Really turned around the momentum of the game and secured it for them.
He was so farmed.
And with that, let's see how long this is going to take. We're going to jump over to chat real quick. Give me unos momento as I take a look here. We've got people waiting to pick out the winner of that adorable tiny statue that I'm super jealous. I'm going to start Tiny. You want to start Tiny? Can we win? I have no idea. I don't think so.
I feel like I shouldn't. My reward was casting this game.
Yeah,
that was my reward.
Such fantastic games as well. For UNR, do you standout player for UNR? Who do you think?
Let's see. Game 2, Mark.
Definitely.
He had a pretty rough game on the Phoenix, game 1, but his chronospheres were great. The messed up thing is, I think Wumpkins had better chronos.
It is kind of sad, isn't it? Though, like, and Wumpkins, he also had the option. He used a lot of defensive chronos, so
yes.
it really screwed up the flow of the team fight.
That's how you. That's when Rubik steals a chrono. That's how you have to do it. I don't think he's good at using the chronos aggressively. Like, he can run in the chrono, that's fine, but what else is it gonna do? That I think it was around the 22-minute mark, something like that. We saw the massive 4-man chrono, but it still turned into a lost fight for Colombia.
Yeah, unable. I think he surprised his team as much as he surprised us with it. His team was like, "Wait, we got a chrono," and they tried to go back and do something with it. I think maybe that seconds of hesitation is what caused them to lose that fight.
Oh yeah, so very impressed with him. So UNR game 2, Mark the Void for sure. Game 1, hard to say. They easy. 5 eggs.
Oh,
he was the only one. He was the only one who really did that well in the game.
Yeah. He was trying to keep it going, but all right. So
if it was just the Invoker who was really fed, it would have been fine. Maybe. But,
yeah.
But with Sven being just equally as far ahead, it was impossible for Gyro to win that by himself.
Yeah, that poor Gyro. He had some really decent early aggression, and he looked like he was going to have a good start, and he did have a good start, but just couldn't roll it into anything.
Yeah. So very impressed with both teams. I look forward to seeing how they both progress throughout this league. I think Colombia, if they play as well as they have been, there's a few things I think they need to work on. There were some slight communication errors in the beginning with the Nightmares.
Yeah.
But other than that, they look very solid. Like a team that's probably played together before, or at least practiced together quite a bit.
Completely agree.
UNR needs a little bit more practice, I think. But if they work at it, they show that they're a good team.
Okay, so we've got the winner for our Tiny